everyone, welcome to Nithin Academy and I'm Nithin. And today in PSLE Science 2018 paper, I'll be going through booklet A testing us on the multiple choice questions. So today I'll be going through question 4. Okay, so let's take a look at it. Okay, so today I'll be going through question 4, so let's read the question first. The diagram below shows a food web in an habitat. S, T, U, V, W, and X represent different organisms. Which of the following is a correct conclusion? Okay, so before we do that, right, let's just analyze this here. Okay, so this is actually a food web, right? So a food web actually consists of two or more food chains in it. So let's identify where the food chains are. So this is one food chain over here. Okay, and let me highlight it in a different color. Okay, and this is another food chain. Okay, so I hope you understood that. So a food web is made up of two or more food chains. Okay, so right now let's identify what kind of organisms these are. So X is obviously the apex predator. Okay, because it eats all the other organisms. Okay, it eats W. Okay, and W actually eats U and V, and U and V eat the same organism called T. Okay, and T eats S, but S doesn't eat anything, right? Isn't this strange? So S in this case should be the plant. Okay, so S is the plant. Okay, so if S is the plant, right, you know that a food chain is, or a food web is actually a transfer of energy, right? It's actually energy transfer. Like from here to there is just energy transfer. So where do they get the energy from? So S is actually a plant, right? Where does S get its energy from? So S actually gets its energy from the sun. Okay, so it gets its energy from the sun. It photosynthesizes, it makes its own food, it survives. Okay, and then after that T, okay, T is a smaller animal. Okay, like maybe a rabbit. Okay, this rabbit comes to eat this plant. Okay, and then next U and V maybe are slightly bigger animals which eats the rabbit. Okay, then after that W actually eats these two animals. Okay, so U and V, and so apart from S, all of these here, right, are actually animals. Okay, they're not plants. Okay, so I hope you understood that. So let me just write over here that, so this is a bit hard to see, right? So let me just write it over here that these animals over here is actually, these are actually animals. Okay, it's not a plant. So this over here is a plant. Okay, so now that we have slightly analyzed this, let's read the options and check. Okay, so which of the following is a correct conclusion? Okay, number one, X is a decomposer. Is X a decomposer? I don't think so, because X is actually the apex predator, right? It actually eats W. It doesn't decompose. Okay, so this is actually wrong. X is not a decomposer. Okay, next, W eats plants and animals. Wait, W eats plants and animals? Didn't I already tell that T, U, V, W, and X are animals, right? So how can it eat S? W doesn't eat S. Only T eats plants. Okay, so this here is actually wrong. W only eats animals, right? So that is wrong. Option number 3, when V decreases in number, S increases in number. So when V decreases in number, does S increase in number? Okay, let's take a look at that. Okay, if V were to decrease in number, that means that there is lesser organisms eating T, right? That means T will actually grow in population, right? If let's say that U remains the same, okay, and V decreases in number, okay, that means that T will actually increase in population because there's not much animals eating T, and thus when T increases in population, there's more T that eats the plant S, meaning that S actually decreases in population size. So option number 3 is actually wrong. Okay, so let's take a look at option number 4, the last option over here. So this should be the right answer, right? The energy from the sun is transferred to S and then to T, U, V, W, and X. Okay, so this is absolutely correct, right? Because a food chain or a food web is actually basically energy transfer. And where do they get their energy from? They get their energy from the plant. And where does the plant actually get its energy from? The plant gets its energy from the sun. Okay, so when the plant gets its energy from the sun, T actually gets its energy from the plant, which directly is linked to the sun, and U and V actually get their energy from T, which is directly linked to the sun as well. Okay, so I hope you understood that. So basically 4 is the right option for this question. Okay, so with that, I've come to the end of my video, and I hope you understood how to answer such questions, and I hope you understood more about the food chain and food web. And with that, I've come to the end of this video. Thank you and bye bye. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.